everybody, it is officially 10 days until me and my boyfriend Jacob leave to travel Southeast Asia and Australia. I thought I'd just do a little video on here before we leave and start filming our travels, just on all things insurance, bank cards, backpacks, our current travel route and everything we've done pre-travel. I also do have a TikTok that I do post my travel content on. I will leave the name here. It's a bit more in detail. There's a lot of more pre-planning stuff that we've done if you want to check that out. So please go and have a look at that. And yeah, I think the first question that everyone asks is sort of where you're going, what you're going to do, how long you're going for, etc, etc. So I'll just give a little bit of information about what we're doing and what our current plans are. So we are currently planning on travelling to Southeast Asia and Australia for roughly 5 months. We currently have planned our first month. We are flying into Singapore first on our one-way flight, which is super exciting. We've got a few days in Singapore and then we're going to Bali and Australia. Now these are planned and booked just because they were our first month and I felt that we needed to have a little bit to go on, and then once we get out there we'll be able to figure out what we want to do a little bit more. I have also booked Australia pretty much most of it just because we are obviously going to be staying in hostels and we want to be doing the most popular backpacking things on the East Coast, so I just thought it'd probably be wise to book it now. I have found that actually a lot of them are sold out or prices have increased ridiculously because we are going over Christmas and New Year's. So I'm really glad that I booked it all in. All our hostels are booked, all our activities are booked as well because a lot of them also said that they were running out of spaces. So I have done that. I would just say if you're going to do the same, please make sure that you actually have everything on free cancellation, just in case things do change. So a lot of our trips and activities etc can be changed. So yeah, I would never really book anything non-refundable apart from maybe your first hostel, which we have done. So yeah, so that's exciting. We've got up until about the end of January planned, and then we've got roughly 3 months to do whatever else we want to do. We've got a lot of countries actually that are on our list, and every time I keep looking at TikTok I actually get more and more ideas. So I'll just name a couple that we definitely want to be doing, which will be Japan. That is my boyfriend's top destination that he wants to go to, so we'll definitely be getting there. We'll also be doing Malaysia, Philippines, Vietnam as one of my top ones that I really want to go to. So it all just depends. We're going to see what happens when we get out there, see if there are any cheap flights. We have also been looking at Sri Lanka and also the Maldives, as I keep seeing things on TikTok about budget Maldives. So we'll see what happens. We're just gonna go with the flow once we get out there. We obviously have our first month booked, like I said, but apart from that we're pretty much free to do whatever we want, which is so exciting. So the next question I'm going to be talking about is insurance. Now we actually booked our insurance a couple months ago, just because I wanted to get out of the way because it was really stressing me out. It did take quite a while, I kept putting it off, but in the end we went with Outbacker. Now I've seen a lot of mixed reviews about every insurance company for backpacking. You do need a specific backpacking insurance just because we are going on an extended trip without a flight home, so you do need to double check all the terms and conditions. A lot of them will not cover mopeds unless you've got a moped license, so you need to obviously either get your license or just realise that you will not be covered if something happens. It all depends what you want, whether you want gadget cover. Also a lot of the activities like skydiving and scuba diving aren't covered under a lot of these insurances, so you do need to check. You can add on a lot of these extra insurance policies under your main insurance. We have added gadget cover to ours and we paid £345 for both of us. Now I really liked Outbacker because you can actually have a couple insurance, so it sort of saved us a little bit of money instead of having to pay separately. It also means that we're both covered under the same insurance, so if anything was to happen to either of us we're both covered. So we paid £345 for both of us, which I don't think is too bad because a lot of people have said they pay £500. What I would say is 100% when you're booking, make sure you check uni days, if you're a student, or blue light card, because a lot of the things that we've actually booked you can actually get discount on. I know with the Greyhound bus in Australia you can get discount, and we also got discount with our Outbacker insurance. So definitely check before you pay, because you might get it back, a little bit of money, which always helps towards saving. And the next thing I thought I'd talk about is vaccines. So we've actually had a lot of vaccines for this trip. None of these are compulsory. It honestly just depends whether you want them, whether you feel like you're at risk. So we went and had a travel consultation with our GP. Now these are free if you're obviously under the NHS, and you can go in, they'll fill out a form and just put where you're going, the type of accommodation, where you're sort of going to be doing, so as long as you're not going to be going like off the beaten track. Now we had both our NHS vaccines for free. We got typhoid and Hep A on the NHS. They also advised us to go to a private clinic to get our rabies and Japanese encephalitis. Now we both got these. They cost, I think it was £75 each for rabies, and we had to have 3 of those. And then for the Japanese encephalitis, it costs £105 per dose, and you have to have 2. So in the end they did cost us quite a little bit of money, but it's just something that we had always budgeted anyway, because we knew that we probably wanted to get it. So I would definitely do your research and contact your local GP, because they are really helpful, and can tell you everywhere and all the things that you want. I will pop in the description a couple of websites actually that tell you sort of travel advice on what vaccines are needed and what's sort of recommended for those places. So yeah. Okay, so the next thing is our travel cards. Now we've actually got quite a few travel cards because there's 2 of us. I thought we'd take as many as we can. We are sticking with Starling, Monzo and Revolut this trip. This is just in case anything gets stolen, or if we forget to take it out of the ATM, or it like eats our card or whatever. We have enough cards to last us the 5 months. So yeah, and then obviously we've got our normal bank cards, which we'll also be taking but not using on a daily basis. So the next question is our backpacks. Now we have gone with backpacks. I know there's a lot of mixed reviews about whether to take a backpack or a suitcase. Now we thought we'd go with a backpack just because I feel like it will be easier. So we've gone with the Mountain Warehouse 60 plus 20 litre backpack. It's quite a good budget backpack, and I thought it opens like a suitcase, so it won't be annoying like the ones you have to put in the top. And also I didn't want to spend a lot of money on a backpack when it's probably going to get ruined anyway. So I've put some patches on just so that I know that this one's mine, and Jacob's also got some on his backpack. So that's the backpack we went with. It also does come with a 20 litre day bag, which we will also be using as our carry-on. So the only thing with these backpacks is they do need to be checked in because they are too big to be a carry-on. But I thought for the length of time that we're going, it probably isn't the end of the world. And actually I have noticed that on some companies like AirAsia, that to add the bag is not actually that much more expensive. So I thought for 5 months I'd rather have a bigger bag and take everything that I need with me and feel like I've got everything, than take a smaller bag and have to buy another one out there. Okay, so I think that's all the questions that I was going to answer in this video. If you do have any others, please remember to go to my TikTok, because I do have a lot of videos on there already about our trip. But yeah, I hope that helps anyone. And it is, yeah, like I said, officially 10 days until we leave, which is super duper exciting. And yeah, so watch out for the first vlog, which will be Singapore. And yeah.